Test.
Got you.
Can you hear me?
Got you.
You hear that?
I know you can't see me right now, so I apologize for that. Give me 1 second. Yeah, no, I can't hear your voice mod at all. Damn. You know what you hear? I ain't gonna make it. Rewind that back. What up, people? What they say? Happy Friday. Happy Friday.
He said, what did they say? Happy Friday.
Where's Pete? Oh, no. There we go. Pete's in the building. Give me 1 second, Olivia.
Weird.
I'm here, but I'm not here. You're going to see me in a second. I got to change my shirt. I'm sure you don't want to see that live on TV.
No, we definitely don't want to see
People
that.
got to pay for that. All right. I'm going to go change my shirt. Philly, can you run the show?
You said people want to pay to see that.
Yeah, people want
we actually
to pay.
We don't.
Somebody might.
Yeah.
On low.
We don't want to see that.
Somebody might want to pay for it.
Okay.
Why you have a glass on? It's out the corner. FreeStyle.
Because I feel like wearing it.
Because what?
Because I just feel like wearing it.
Yo, you sassy.
You're being a Nazi today, man. Try to tell me what to do. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Friday.
Thank you, Olivia.
Welcome. His cute faces while we watch. Okay, just kidding. What's up?
Yes.
Hey, you know what?
Yes.
Hey, Olivia, bless you, girl. Bless you, girl. I'm not going to say nothing to that. I'm not going to say nothing.
If he don't have nothing nasty to say, he don't say nothing at all. It's not with the real one. Thank you, Olivia. All right, go ahead Turkish, so I can get my face good. It's all you. Up forehead. Reading rainbow. Buster looking. Anyway, happy Friday, y'all. I see Olivia's in the building. Mic check. Who's in the building? Come up in the chat and say, I'm in the building. Say so-and-so has entered the building. I know Olivia's here. Who else is out there? Who else is out there for Freestyle Friday? While we're waiting on that, welcome. Good evening, friends. Peace. Is your boy, yours truly, Philly DC. And to my right, in the dark, changing his shirt from his bird chest or his man boobs, you got Philly disregard. I say, it's the wrong one. Yo, Chad and Adam, what's up, bros? I digress. Oh, yeah. We have Pete over in the dark trying to cover up his man boobs. Just players out there in the streets. Jerry's out in the building. What's up? You got Pete and you got Del Brown still home from leave. We are your unpopular celebrities. And welcome to Freestyle Friday. Freestyle Friday, where we're going to talk about a lot of ish. I tell you, I got a lot of stuff to get off my chest. So, and as always, you guys, whatever y'all want to dictate, we can talk about. We can adjust and talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. But before we do, just remember, this is your safe space. You can vent about whatever you want, about whomever you want. Somebody cut you off in traffic. Somebody take all the eggs in the commissary. Oh, that's a big deal.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody took the last pair of size 9 J's in the store. Or the last bag of Mike and Ike's. True story. That happened to me today. I was pissed too.
Last bag of Mike and Ike's? People still eat Mike and Ike's?
Last bag of Mike and Ike's. Yes, people still eat Mike and Ike's. Yours truly does.
Did we talk about the disclaimer yet? Hey, let me take over. Let me take over before you say something.
That's you ain't supposed to say. Boy, I wish my voice mod was working. That's some bullshit. I ain't saying nothing.
New disclaimer.
New bullshit
for all you.
New. Bullshit.
Goodness gracious. Olivia said her son picked up Mike and Ike's today.
That's right.
He probably took your last one. He probably took your last one.
Mike and Ike candy.
Anyway, to disclaimer. I don't have my voice up. Usually I have this voice for the disclaimer.
Good. Just say it. We don't need all that other bullshit. Just say it.
Dang. Official disclaimer. This channel is all about our personal experiences in the United States military.
and does not constitute or imply its endorsements, recommendations, or favoring by the Department of Defense or United States Air Force. The views and opinions expressed hereince do not necessarily state or reflect those of the Department of Defense, United States Air Force, and does not intend to bring discredit to Department of Air Force Department of Defense or the United States Air Force.
Translation, bullshit. That's what it sounds like.
He was said they were tropical. Do you do tropical Mike nights or just regular?
Nah, I just like the regular ones. I'm a regular dude, man. Just regular ones.
Olivia said, nope, hold on. I thought that this was a DOD page. Not at all.
Uh-huh.
Not at all.
Hey, you said it, I didn't.
Not at all.
You said it, I
man,
didn't.
That's crazy. To Philly, DC, we also have the ability to put pictures up if you would like pictures, as we're talking about what we're talking about, videos. If you want to put that up, we can also put that up. Shout out Paul Davis, who saw me in rare form today. Sour Mike and Nights go crazy.
Nah, I don't like that's too fancy, man. Nah,
Too fancy.
Man. Too fancy, man.
What up, PD? Hey, are we hitting the gym tomorrow? We didn't talk about that. Shoot me a text. We hitting the gym. You need to hit the gym tomorrow. Not for those reasons, for other reasons that we know about. You need to be hitting the gym tomorrow. So I hope the answer is yes. Okay. Got some topics today. Trying to make sure everything's working out the way it should be. I think I'm good. How are you feeling over there? How was your day?
It was good, man. Had the last day of TAP. Shout out to anybody who's about to transition. Notice I said transition and not retire. Our TAP counselor made sure he stressed that. Don't say you're retiring. Tell employers that you're transitioning.
Interesting. What is the difference?
They said retirement is like you're dying. So I am transitioning. But I would argue, say you transitioning almost sound like you dying too. All right, like you're transitioning to heaven. I'm transitioning.
Right. Yeah, that's a little dark, but
yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was good, man. We got some good information. I guess I was doing some self-reflection earlier today. Scale of 1 to 10. 5 being in the middle, 1 about to jump out the window, 10 being super confident about my transition. I'm saying I'm about a 6.
Okay.
No, yeah, I'm about a 6. It's not too bad.
I mean, I'm trying to think like where you should be at when you would feel most comfortable.
I think when you're at the point where, honestly, I think you would never feel comfortable, 100% comfortable, unless you already have a job lined up. I think the realistic place you would be at is when first you realize that you're transitioning and you're fine with it, and you have the necessary tools to be able to use those to find employment. And of course, you're financially squared away too. I think that's when you're in a good space. I think outside of having a job already.
Right. I wonder if anybody ever feels that, oh, my bad, like they're financially squared away. That's tough.
You'd be surprised. Some people. Yeah.
Really?
Some people, yeah. I mean, you figure there's some people who don't really have any obligations, like no kids at home. Like Wendy and I don't have any kids. So, I always kid to her, like, yo, we could live under a bridge if we really wanted to. It's just the two of us. I mean, it's not realistic, but you've got some colonels in there. They got like 4 or 5 kids they trying to put through college. You know what's funny? This is a good topic.
Okay.
For all you parents out there, do y'all think it's realistic and fair for y'all to pay for your kids' college tuition 100%? Or is it fair to allow them to find their way to pay for college and you provide some support and fires? What do y'all think?
Isn't that what the GI Bill is for?
Yeah, but if you got like 4 kids.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, fun fact. Did you put in $1,000 per month for 12 months when you first came in for the GI
Yeah, for
Bill?
the GI. Yeah, and I changed to the post 9/11.
Fun fact. They said you can get that money back.
How?
They said you contact DFAS.
And tell them
They
what?
even showed us the reg that said it. They said if you put in, the only caveat is you could, if you gave your GI benefits or your 9/11 benefits to your kids and they use it all up, there's a chance you can't get it back. But if you still have benefits and you're using them or not using them, you can get your money back.
I never
know
heard
that. Because I always thought to myself, what
It's
happened
just
to my
$1,000,
$1,000,
right?
man? Yeah. What does Olivia say? Absolutely not. I had to figure out how to pay. You know what? I wish my voicemail was working, Olivia. And you get the first cha-ching of the night, man. Because I agree with you, man. Man, F them kids. They can help pay for their own college tuition, man. Isn't that the beauty of being an adult? Like, why do we have to pay 100% tuition for your children? They should pay for something. I can see you paying for their college tuition, but you're paying for their room and board. Or you paying for their room and board, but they got to catch the bus to school. You got some kids out there that's getting a free 100% ride.
I mean, don't you always want better for your kids than what you have?
Yeah, I want better, but I don't want to give it to them on a platter either.
Can you read what Baker said, John Baker?
Okay,
Becker?
John Becker says college is a choice. My wife and I are okay giving 1 year to each kid a piece since we have 4 kids tracking. But my wife was guard to put herself through college. I got my degree after joining. We both view it as a choice. I agree. Word up. John also says 1 year to GI Bill. I'm not coming out of pocket. Olivia says damn, Olivia, you got 4 degrees? Damn, girl.
I got 4.
What? 2 CCAF degrees? You
of course. Those count.
Don't count, fool. That's the Cracker Jack degree, bro.
You a hater. God, you a hater.
I'm just kidding.
We don't have any kids, but if my kids were Eagles fans, Adam Van Cleef Golf hit the one of the greatest ones of the day. I don't have. Say it with your chest. We don't have any kids, but if we did, and they were Eagles fans, they would paying for their own college. Agree.
Oh, okay. Oh, Adam, that's how you do, Adam? You coming at me like that, Adam, on Freestyle Friday? That's how you do, player?
Yes,
that's how you do?
Yes, sir. Make them pay for their own stuff.
You're about to get the reject t-shirt we have. Go find one that's in the chest, an old design you made when you was half asleep. Send it to Adam.
Yeah, see, Olivia, 2 CCFs, 1 bachelor's, 1 master's, 1 civilian cert. Heck no, don't pay for it. Didn't did my ex? Didn't did my ex. Did I read that right? Did not did my ex.
Didn't pay for ish. Didn't did my ex. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
You're
all right.
right,
Wasn't me. Play the Reading Rainbow joint. All right. So yeah, I mean, I think people want better for the kids if you could pay for college and afford it. But you're right, that's part of the experience. I mean, don't let them go to the debt. But don't need to apologize, Olivia. I got you. I'm just playing. Neither did my ex.
Neither did my ex.
But yeah, if you could pay for it, go ahead and pay for it. Let's see what John Becker says. John Becker's shooting fire today. Fire. College is a ratchet?
Racket. Fool. Racket. He said ratchet?
I know plenty of civilian.
He said ratchet?
Go, you read it.
John says college is a racket. I know plenty of civilian fiends or friends, I'm sure. There's plenty of civilian friends who have degrees and don't know how to convert it to civilian jobs. People carrying around debt and don't know how to actually apply that degree. So this is another quick question. I'm curious.
In the sky.
All right, go ahead.
There's another quick question for y'all. What would you say if your child says they want to use your post 9/11 degree to get a degree in Fortnite video game.
Is that a degree?
Would you? I'm just saying this. I know it's kind of
Is that
an
a degree?
exaggeration. There's some out there like that. But would you let your child take your post 9/11 to get a degree in, I don't know, croquet or something? Some crazy degree. Olivia says, of course we do. However, debt is also part of it. What's the difference between a house or a car or a degree? What do you want?
Ooh.
Nope, he means fiends.
Fiends, yeah.
Oh, he meant
friends.
fiends.
No, he said
Okay,
friends. He says the degree is in
okay,
English.
friends. Yeah, okay. Jake, what's up, bro? Jake Sargent says,
"Oh, Jake,
all
you
them AMU
hater."
psychology degrees walking around.
Bruh.
Hey.
AMU, that's the
You're
one
about
for
to
me.
design them and get paid. Yeah, see, she said if you're designing video games, I get more from Monopoly money so they can't fund their fake degrees. Adam always covers some fire. I wouldn't care. Get your degree. Whatever you want to get your degree in. I mean, I would have to look up how many people in the US actually use their degree that they have their degree in. Like Jake said, all the psychology degrees walking around, I'm guaranteeing all of them are not in the psychology field. All the criminal justice degrees, they're all not walking around in the criminal justice field. I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Okay.
There
How
you
about
go.
now?
Yeah.
Just because you have a psychology degree doesn't mean you have to be a psychologist, you know. Psychology works in any situation.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
It's an all-inclusive type of degree.
So
just
what would
like
you feel about
finance,
it?
you know?
How would you feel about it?
What you mean?
If you gave up your 9/11 for somebody to get it?
Hell no, man. Look, y'all can judge me all I want. I told my kids, y'all got 3 different things y'all have to consider if I'm going to pay for your college.
Okay.
1, you don't get married. 2, you don't have no kids.
Wait a minute.
3, you don't drop out. And I will pay for your college.
Whoa. Hold on. Go back to the first one.
That you don't get married?
So if they get married, you're not paying for nothing?
Not when they're in college.
Oh,
The
okay.
way I
While
look
they're
at
in
it,
college. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
fool. Not when they're in college. If I'm paying for your
I'm about
college,
to say, God, dog.
that means I am funding your way. When you go out, you get married, you have a child, and you're in college, that tells me right there, you are ready to be a full-fledged adult because now you're taking on a responsibility that you have to support. Why? How am I going to support you? And you got to support your wife.
That's pretty strong, right?
It's and when you in school, you in it 100% because like it's an investment. Like I'm funding you to go to college. I want A's, bro. It's an investment.
So are you the type to be checking on your kid's school and everything?
Yeah, dang right. When my oldest son was going, I was checking on his grades every semester. I think these days, not everyone, but there's most people, they are doing too much for their kids. Too much. And they're doing it off the premise that they want them to have more than they had, or they feel like they're obligated to do. You're not. Like there is some benefit to allowing them to do some things on their own. Like case in point, when my youngest wanted to go join the Air Force, I didn't know if he was serious. So I was like, yo, go to the recruiter. I didn't drive him. He went himself. And then once I saw he was serious, and he ran into some some roadblocks, then I started helping him. John Becker says psychology degree is a stepping stone. Lots of bachelor's degrees are stepping stones where you have to get a master's degree to actually use it or get a certification afterwards. I agree. I love my psychology degree. I use it all the time.
Olivia pushed back to your statement and said, but that's the point of raising them.
What you mean? Clarify for me.
Give her the opportunity to do that while I'm looking at this.
In a nutshell, I do think as a parent, you want the best for your children. I'm not denying that. To me, it's no different than when they fall down and they hurt themselves, right? I'm not going to immediately grab you. You're going to sit there and cry a little bit. Then I'll reach down and grab you. I think, man, parents are just so quick to bail their kids out of stuff, man. Like there is something to be said about learning adversity and grit. My biggest, if somebody wanted to say, what's your biggest, one of your biggest, what's the word, a phrase? What is your biggest wishes that you want to leave for your children when you're gone? Obviously, you want to leave them wealth, right? But one of my biggest things is I want them to be able to survive when I'm not here. Like when I'm gone, I don't want them to feel like, oh, my dad's gone. What I'm gonna do? I want them to be able to survive and be great contributors to society. Olivia said, raising them, said, yes, we want the best, but we also need to create humans. I wish my voice was, hey, you get the next bell, Olivia. On point. Very good. Well, thanks, guys, for indulging. We can move on to the next topic if you like. So, hey, y'all, in the comments section, if it's something specific y'all guys want to bring up, let us know. And even importantly, if you want to get on live camera with us and speak about it, let Pete know, and we'll find a way to get you on, man. It's Freestyle Friday. Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. Over to you, Pete. What you want to talk about?
So I'm trying.
Thank you, Adam. Adam, hold on. Before you say Adam, you know what, Adam? You're like that. Sometimes, Adam, you know what you're like?
Sometimes
you're like wine. You know how sometimes you drink wine and it's sweet and bitter? Adam, is that a good comment or is that a dig? I don't know. Is when I'm putting on these Jordans, is my little toe rubbing on the insole or is it fitting? Which one is it?
Okay.
Anyway, over to you. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. I train other adults' children all day, every day. I just need my kid to do better, to be better. Ooh, that's tough. Okay, come on, Comanche.
What?
Come on, Comanche.
I don't know if that's bad or good. I don't know.
All right, let me see if I can put this up. Says I told DC we have the ability to, and now it's not working. But let me see if I can get this cracking.
Can I do it, or only you can do it?
Only I can do it, of course.
All right, I'll send you some. I want to show you.
Well, right now ain't nothing working, but
okay,
we'll figure that out.
Oh, Adam says I want to hear your take on LeBron shooting baskets shirtless before yesterday's games. Yesterday's game, our standards dropping across the NBA.
I think he's always done that.
I think he's always done that. But going to Adam, to your point, we talked the other day about Ja Morant. I mean, that's a perfect example. I listened to the show this morning and I was reflecting on what I said. I was like, maybe I was too harsh. But in hindsight, I was not. Like, come on, how many of y'all out there making a lot of money? Let's say you're making millions of dollars. And Pete said the other day, if you're making all these millions of dollars and you said something that's going to hurt your pockets, you're going to apologize quickly because you don't want to lose any money. Mm-hmm. What is it like? You're making so much money, you just don't care, you know?
Yeah. I think that's what it is. All right, I can't put these up. I'm gonna stop fiddling with it and just go off my screen that I have. It's gonna work one day. Everything's gonna work one day, just not today. But that's okay. All right. Topic number 2. Interesting facts. You know, I like giving y'all facts as we go through 25.
Hold on, are we closing out Adam's comment? Are we good there?
I didn't see the shirtless stuff, but I'm thinking, like you said, like, who's gonna tell him not to?
Adam, can you expand on that? Was there some controversy in social media about it? Did he have, like, I don't know, some nibble rings or something? I don't know. Like, what? Because I think I've seen him a couple of times without a shirt off. Playing shooting baskets. Yes, you earned Fortnite time.
That was off Becker's comment. Said limited their time on Fortnite and make sure they're practicing sports. Oh, so that's another topic we talked about, and we don't have to talk about it long, but do you think it hurt your kids? Oh, never mind. That's a dumb topic. I'm not even going to bring it up.
No, I'm curious. Go ahead and say it. It could be a quick hitter. What?
I was going to say, do you think it's crazy to have your kids in sports if they're not going to make it into a league or anything? Not kids as far as like 12, 15 trying to learn coping skills. I'm talking about like when you're 20, 18 to 25. Look at Wes Lawrence in the building.
Wes, what's up, bro? I caught y'all ceremony the other day, man. It was good.
Sports or reading or math. Ooh, that's a good topic. That's a good topic. Like, Faith Donovan in the building.
Faith in the building.
Um,
Konnichiwa. Or is it Kumbawa?
So you know what's funny? I would say sports, but
to what context? I missed something. It says sports, reading, or math. To what context are we
I'm thinking like, which one would you want your kids to be in? Would you want them to focus on sports, reading, or math?
I would say math. Math? Yeah.
Shit, then you end up like me.
End up like, no. See, you're thinking of the wrong thing. Now everybody's thinking about money, you dirtbag. You can be an engineer. The Star Trade. You're gonna have to handle the joint.
When you focus on math, that's what you hear all day. Faith Donovan with the 150 stars without the voice mod working, so I will do it on mine.
Hey, can y'all show Faith some love? Y'all type Faith in the comments for the 150 cent. Type Faith in the comments.
Stars.
Type Faith in the comments. What do you keep saying stars for?
Because that's what it is. You said cents.
Oh, that's what we're doing now? You can okay. All right. Let me get my chalkboard. Put that there.
Yes.
I'm just waiting, like double Dutch. Anyway, as we digress and we move on. Wes says math first, sports second. See,
wow.
Billy stand up. Billy stand up.
Okay. We're getting two different topics. What up, Charles Davis? Look at Olivia showing face some love for the stars. We appreciate it. Look at Charles Davis. The 100 stars to the show.
Hey, yo, we appreciate it. Hey, y'all show Charles Davis some love and type Charles Davis a CD in the comments, man, for the 100 stars.
Okay.
CD.
So, we're going two different topics. Adam finished up his point, so let's go to finish at that, and then we'll go to the kids in school, because I really want to touch on this real quick. Some Hall of Fame players came out talking about how it reflects poorly on the professionalism in the league, especially as a veteran player. They also said it makes the coaches... They also said make the coaches wear suits again. I thought I was on the Airman NCO page, but it was ESPN. I mean, that's a good point. Look at Faith getting all the love. Look at Charles Davis we don't care about him. Look at Charles Davis getting some love. Boom, CD. Boom. Yes, ma'am. So I know Olivia's a big LeBron James Jr. LBJ fan.
See?
Yeah, why can't they just be players? So like what he said when President Trump said, just shoot the basketball. Anyway, whatever you earn is game time. Heck no, it's so great. I need to learn to lose. Then you'll be a better team. Wes Lawrence said, yeah, the coaches should play the part. Wear suits again. Okay, interesting. We're talking about two different things. Let's stay with this LeBron James things.
Wes should know, man. Wes never told you about that time I dunked on him in Joint Base Andrews and some sandals, man. That was ill. Remember, Wes?
Wes, please tell me that ain't so.
Yeah. Remember that, Wes?
Yeah. Please tell me there's like a 4-foot ring.
Yeah.
Look, see,
Moses
this is the problem. Wes is saying what the problem is. LBJ is the GOAT. He can do whatever he wants. No. Olivia said, as an A1C. Exactly. All right. So I agree. Like most players after the game, do whatever you want. If it's after the game and you want to shoot with no shirt on, whatever, do your thing, man. Like there's millions of basketball courts out there that people shoot shirtless or play a game shirtless because for whatever 500 reasons you can say. So I don't have a problem with it. I understand what they're saying about the professionals. It reflects poorly because you got the John Morant stuff going on. It's just not a good look. Freddie Kincaid says an A1C is crazy. Yeah, I remember that. It's on a 6-foot rim, and his feet was ashy. Damn.
Yo, Wes ain't gonna never let me live that story down, boy.
Or Fight Dogs, no. We don't stay that for football. So I think So that's my thoughts on that. Any thoughts on the LBJ thing? Then we can go to coaches wearing suits.
All thing I'll say on LBJ is he's not the GOAT in my book.
Damn.
So I think, first of all, I'll just quickly say this. He's a whiner, right? Great basketball talent. Top 5 basketball players of all time. But that dude is a whiner.
Ooh.
He's a cupcake, man. He's a cupcake. I mean, God, all right, I'll leave it at that.
Dang. Oh, I did see that. LBJ is a Ken dog now.
Yeah.
A Ken dog now.
Mm-hmm.
Love that they had him wearing Jordans. Damn, they did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. So about coaches wearing suits, Bill Belichick has ruined that for all sports. They will never go back to suits again, ever. And then coaches are coming in the league more younger. That's not a real thing. Younger. And people just don't wear suits no more. Why spend $150 on a suit when I could spend $60 on a shirt?
Oh man, Wes, how can you? I really don't.
He is.
I don't really want to go down this road, but come on, Wes.
Shirt
how
and
can you
skin
say he's a GOAT,
normal,
man? How can LBJ be the GOAT, man?
No,
over Kobe and Jordan?
Yo, LBJ.
Olivia, you want to have this talk?
Let's be real. LBJ is not the GOAT.
Yo, y'all people in the chat, put down in the comments who y'all. Team LeBron, who y'all think is the GOAT? LeBron, Kobe, or Jordan, or whoever else?
Yeah, because not LBJ. Kobe for sure. $150, bro. That's cute. $150 for LeBron James as a Ken doll?
Not surprising.
Please tell me that's not so.
Yep. You even push you push it across the table, he'll lay there and start crying.
Heck no.
MJ is third. Wes, what are you drinking tonight,
11K. Easily go. MJ is third.
No.
Becker says,
are you
Mike,
drinking?
Wow, this is a real debate. Freddie Kincaid.
Are y'all drinking OE, St. Ides, Muscatel? What are y'all drinking tonight?
What about Kobe?
Thank
LBJ
you, Adam.
Ain't the GOAT. Jordan is the GOAT. No, they are all too different. What about Kobe?
No, man. Kobe's number 2.
Okay. I'll take number 2.
Yeah, I'll say Brian is third. As much as I admit he's third, but come on,
second.
Wes.
Thank you, Wes. I'll take number 2.
Jordan third. Wes, I would love to hear your rationale as to why Jordan is third. Run the tape. Jordan is a 6-time NBA champion. Never lost a final.
MJ number 1A, number 1B, and 1C.
Thank you, Charles Davis. Charles Davis, always the voice of reason.
Ho! First of all, Olivia, you know I love you to death.
Who?
Kobe's not a rapist.
I didn't know that. Like, wow. That wasn't proven, was it?
Settled out of court. Never got convicted. Settled. Like they said in Liar Liar. Settle. Was never convicted. Wow. Man, Olivia, kill me with that.
Come on. Oh, Wes, come on. You are gaslighting tonight, Wes.
Oh, not gaslighting.
How can you say he wouldn't have won without Kobe?
MJ was never going to win without Scotty showing up.
Charles said, she filed for that.
Real talk. I'll entertain all Braun, Kobe, Jordan, Magic rationalizations, I guess.
Rationales.
Okay. It's all.
Oh,
it all applies to
what is going on tonight?
Let's see. Oh, she filed for that. Yeah, she is. Thank you, Charles Davis. Yes, Olivia, relax. Sure. Goodness. Today would have been. Well, it wasn't today. What up, T? That's like saying OJ didn't do it. Yo, OJ didn't do it. He's not convicted. You freaking hater. Kincaid, stop. Kincaid said, real talk, I'll intersect. Oh, okay. MJ Scotty is the GOAT. Whoa, okay, Wes.
Man.
Okay, Wes.
Wes is he laughing over there. He throwing grenades out, man.
What? I watched The Last Dance yearly and almost twice a year. I love it. Reminds me of watching Jordan in the 90s. But to Pete, asked about Kobe in the episode dedicated to Kobe, he even said you don't get Kobe without Jordan.
That's right. Kobe is Jordan.
I read that pretty good. Exactly.
All right.
Pete reading these comments is not going to scream.
Hey, yo, everybody type reading rainbow in the comments.
I can't even play it no more because we supposed to start the star train. I forgot to play it. Train.
Y'all savage tonight, boy. I tell you, savage. Wow.
Oh, that's, dang, I can't get it, but
all right. So, moving on. Did y'all know? I saw an interesting tidbit on the news earlier. Pete on here read like Floyd Mayweather.
Oh man, T crazy. Yo, have some first sergeant loyalty. Have some first sergeant loyalty. Why don't you? This is crazy. Oh, Olivia, not with the emoji. Why do I always get ate up about? See, this is what happens when your kids don't concentrate on reading. They just do sports. This is what happens. So if you want your kids to turn out like me, how many coaches LeBron James had fired again? Exactly. LeBron James always gets fired. They doing you bad. Thank you, Freddie Kincaid, for looking out for me. How it always is. Fighting for my life around here.
Did you know, in other news, that amidst all the craziness and drama surrounding Doge, according to the Washington Examiner, Doge claims they found $400 million in fraudulent unemployment payments. $400 million. Doge, which scrutinizes the government for waste and fraud, said Wednesday that found $382 million in unemployed payments claimed by thousands of people over 115 years old, under 6 years old, with birthdays over 15 years in the future. Do y'all believe it? Is it cap or not?
No cap. I believe it's true.
Wow.
Yeah. I can see that being true.
Wow. Yo, did any of y'all get unemployment? I'm curious. I got unemployment, and I will admit, I shouldn't have got unemployment.
How the hell did you get unemployment? You've been in the military since you were able to work.
Fool, I had jobs before the military, man. Pete, please read this aloud. No.
Coochie is crazy.
Charles, you gotta do that joint. Say 7 sizzling sausages sizzling in the sauce pot.
Coochie's crazy. Okay, it's crazy. Yeah, Wes said no cap. Wes believe it's true too.
Y'all believe it's true?
Just like they canceled a bunch of contracts serving millions of dollars. Cap. Oh,
damn. Oh, he think it's a lie then.
Yeah, he think it's cap. What do you think?
Wow. I can believe it. I don't know if I think that number's kind of high, but I do believe there are some folks, and I know a couple of folks that are double dipping the government when it comes to unemployment. They shouldn't be getting unemployment.
Yo, you know what? I hate to put his business out there. I wish Farrar would get on here because he has a Terrell who wrote this. I also heard they're gonna divvy that money out to taxpayers. We finna get a stimmy check. But he has a real good point on beards. I wish he would come on here and talk about beards. Man, he would have to come on here and talk about it because, man, we got the disclaimer 2.0, so he should be good. But
I want to hear it.
Man.
What is it? What is it?
I believe it. Unemployment can be a racket. I've seen it on the civilian employment side where they do people dirty because they didn't pay it out. Yeah, man, we know people in Philly that be on that. Yeah. How the hell did you get unemployment?
First of all, I was working and I got fired, but I was able to get unemployment, but I shouldn't have gotten it because how I was fired, it was legit, but I got a lawyer and I won and I got unemployment. Yeah.
That's crazy. Not goodbye. That's crazy.
No beard slander.
Don't be scary now.
Why they let you read the comments?
What happened? No beard slander, please. We have a good Friday show. Why they let? I hate to. Wait. I hate to put this out there, but appreciate it out there, Pete. What I do.
Y'all, Wes, what is going on with you today, bro? You got like a match and some gasoline tonight.
Oh, you off the beer talk? About to let it go post PHA. Okay.
I want to know about that.
Yes,
oh, you know what?
We know you
Before I
pro
forget,
beer.
Samel Brown in the building. What's up, brother?
Brown in the building.
Okay, I'm glad Samel jumped in because this just jarred my memory. I had a great talk with one of our favorite listeners and one of my favorite people, Tony, aka the Gooch Bostic. He called me when I was at TAP, and he told me, he said, yo, this interim command chief at Barksdale told Anita that chiefs are nothing more than spectators when it comes to the decision process in commanders. And he said, what do you think? And it blew my mind, but I won't say what I thought. For all you folks out there who are senior enlisted leaders, what do y'all think about that comment? And I repeat, this interim command chief in Barksdale told another senior NCO that chief master sergeants, and particularly command chiefs, are nothing more than spectators when it comes to the decision-making process. Your thoughts?
I'm not in tune in the game for that. So that's like Olivia said, tell us your thoughts because none of us are in tune to that game like that.
Okay, this is what I thought. So here's the thing. I think you have three different, I'm going to try to make this quick because I can ramble. I'll just say this. If it's a bad, exactly. Freddie just hit my first point. If you are a chief that has shown that you have nothing, exactly, that you have nothing credible to give, then yeah, you are a spectator.
Okay.
Thanks. I knew Samel was going to say something. Then not only that, if you have there are some commanders out there who do not who believe enlisted should stay in the corner and say nothing. I've worked for one or two of them. They don't consult no advice from enlisted.
Okay.
Then you have the ones where they talk all the time. My favorite is, you got anything, Chief? Oh yeah, the sky is green, but yesterday it was blue. But that's not what we're talking about, Chief. But yeah. And then it gets to a point they talk so much, it's like crying wolf. People are like, oh my God, here he goes again. That's the problem.
Dang.
Senior enlisted leaders, not just chiefs, but all senior enlisted leaders are, yes, commanders make the decision.
Right.
They bear the responsibility to command.
Burden of command.
Yes. But as a senior enlisted leader, who in most cases are the most senior ranking in that room advocating for airmen, if there is a decision being made that's affecting airmen, you need to weigh in. Ooh. And if you had a respect of your boss, they will listen. And more importantly, if they know what you're saying makes sense and has some credibility, they may shift course. If you have a boss that does not want to listen to you, then you got a problem. Let's see. We missed a bunch of comments here. Olivia is right. Depends on the 06. Wes says, and some commanders don't want us to talk. Exactly. That's what I just said. Charles Davis says, what I think about, I missed it.
There you go.
I missed his. What I think about the comment, that is why he is interim. Get the F out of here. Exactly. Olivia also says, at the end of the day, we salute smartly, not all listen. Exactly. I just think, you know what? And I will add this too. And I'm curious to see what you guys think. I'm ready to take your spears and bullets. I think there's why folks, you ever met people who become tech sergeants and master sergeants, and then they go to the dark side and go commission, and you see their package, and then the package just says, I am a leader now, but I want to be a better leader as an officer. What is the difference between you being a leader as an officer and not a senior enlisted person?
Nah, you're right. You're right on that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be honest. You want to get from 0 to 100. You want to make get it. The officers make more money than us. Let's just be honest, right? But don't make it sound like you're going to be a better leader as a lieutenant versus a master sergeant. What am I missing? Freddie says, Olivia, Freddie says, when I got my first SEL gig, my boss said, if it's enlisted business, it's your decision. I just got the pen.
That's pretty good. I just got the pen. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, so I'll read that after Olivia. So Olivia says, shit, well, you leave more confused than when you start and you protect at the level you can. Samel says something brilliant. He says, credibility of the chief matters. Samel is a great example. Yo, when I was in PACAF at the 18th, when Samel was with his boss, everybody knew Samel was running the show. There was an 06 in there who was the, I forgot what position he was, but he was Samel's boss. Yo, when Samel was talking to all the all the squad, the SF commanders, his voice has so much weight because he's respected. He knew what the duck he was talking about, and his boss knew it. That's a perfect example of influence. Perfect. I missed some comments. Let's see. Charles Davis says, DC, you wanted something. You aren't missing anything. Thank you. John Becker says, the worst thing on an OTS package. I want to impact. Thank you. And leave more like they can't do that now. Bruh, I'm going to tell you, in TAB class, the disrespect was so ridiculous. Why do, all right, let me pose this to you. Let me pose this to you.
Today.
I'm on fire. Because I was thinking about this earlier. Let me ask you this question. Let me ask this question, right? What is the difference between a lieutenant and a seaman or staff sergeant? I'm waiting. Besides a degree. Can a lieutenant lead is more effective leader than a staff sergeant or a seaman?
No, not more effective.
Is a lieutenant colonel more effective as a leader than a senior master sergeant or a master sergeant?
Usually not.
But why do they assume that? My God, when you get in these circles and they be like, oh, this is an officer, lieutenant colonel.
Yep, the salute.
In this TAB class, there were at least, I would say, 25 of us in there. There were maybe 12 chiefs. This TAB counselor kept saying, all you commanders in here. And I'm thinking like, you don't see these chiefs? We were in uniform. You know what I'm saying? Like, you commanders are the best of the best. You know what you need to do. Like, bro, it's chiefs in here. It wasn't until later in the day that he said, oh, yeah, and there's some chiefs in here. Really? Yeah. Like, you know what's amazing? You know what's amazing when they say chiefs? They'd be like, commanders would be like, oh, my God, you made chief. You're the top 1% of the enlisted force. Sometimes I don't feel like we get treated that way. In my opinion, not in all circles. Let me go to the comments. Olivia says, Seer NCOs mentor CGOs. You did the exec one. Oh, yeah, I did the exec tab. You're right. Matthias, what's up, brother? Negative. NCO has more experience and should have more credibility. Terrell says they try to bank on that degree, which most enlisted have now, too. And furthermore, you ever notice Tony Gooch, thank you for that conversation earlier. He says, been there, my mouth too big, though. Yo, did y'all ever notice the Army puts so much more stock on these sergeant majors than the Air Force do chiefs?
That's true. Hey, that one I'll give
Oh, my God. They were like, who runs the garrison? Oh, the sergeant major. Sergeant major says.
Right.
You ever notice that? Wes says they don't respect the position. They should respect the person. I agree. Bingo. John says, depends on if they listen and take advice. I agree. I don't know.
I don't feel bad, but it's funny that I can see somebody walk in a room and be like, just talking to the commanders, like, yo, guess I'm not here. Guess I'm just here, just happy to be here.
And don't get me wrong. I mean, I guess you can make the same argument. Because you're a chief, does that make you more of an effective leader than a senior master sergeant or master sergeant? It just depends on the person, because there are some dirtbag chiefs out there.
Just like there's some dirtbag master sergeants and senior master sergeants.
Wait, go back.
There are staff sergeants that run a ring around master sergeants.
Wait. There's some dirtbag chiefs out there. All right, move forward. I just didn't want to move past that without saying it again.
Well, shoot, do the same for some dirtbag master sergeants out there. How about that? A lot of them. Matter of fact, I won't mention it. There's a lot of them just walking around here doing nothing. John says they sent them to school for almost a year. We don't even have the CLC squared.
True. Sending them to school is crazy.
You know what's fun? Let me ask y'all this too. Let me ask y'all this too. This is why it's Freestyle Friday, y'all.
Yes.
Samel says 100 DC sergeant majors
get mad love.
Get mad. They do, man. They do. You know how much love sergeant majors get? When they see my rank, when I'm not in the Air Force, they assume I'm a sergeant major. And then civilian like leaders and Davis Montha, like civilian leaders, they be like, oh, here's the new wing commander. Oh, it don't matter. The sergeant major runs the base. Council runs the base. I'm like, I'm not a sergeant major. They be like, yeah, all right, whatever. You're a sergeant major. Olivia says, but also I'm not going to lie, DC is about the person, not the rank. I agree. Mm-hmm. But I would argue the rank
not
is
for
the
officers.
Door opening.
I think not for officers. Like officers is about the rank, not the person.
I would think more so the rank than the person.
For officers.
And in some cases enlisted too. There's something when you say chief says something. It's something when you say first sergeant, it says something. That opens the door. Like, case in point, if they say Master Sergeant Peterson said, they're like, who the hell is Master Sergeant Peterson? But when they say the first sergeant said, they're like,
that's true.
Or they say, hey, Senior Master Sergeant Lawrence said, but when they say Chief Lawrence says, they're like this.
That's true.
So position does matter. But then it's like, you know what it's like? It's like opening the door and it's dark inside. You don't know what's in there. You open the door and it's a phenomenal leader who has credibility, respect. Samel Brown, Tony Bostic, Wes Lawrence. The lights on and you like, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you open the door and you see, I wish I had my bleep button and say some names. I won't mention it. And it's dark as shit. Not only that, you see a bunch of skeletons come out. Yeah. Freddie says, definitely depends on the person. I agree. Olivia says, and I'm medical and I see them all. Absolutely. Tony Boston says that rank. First. Yep, I agree. And you know, it's a shame, but it's true. Thomas says, all of the Army seniors. Oh my God. That's another topic in itself.
All of them.
Oh my God. Yo, the dude who was doing our TAP a portion for their VA benefits was a former staff sergeant, infantryman.
Oh, damn.
This dude, even 12 years after being retired, he was talking about these NCOs who was the super. Oh, I'm Sergeant Johnson. He was phenomenal. Yeah. And it was like, what does he do now? Is he like a sergeant first class? Oh, he retired 20 years ago.
Hey.
And you still call him sergeant? Because he got so much. His dude was a staff sergeant. He looks up to him like he's a dang sergeant major, you know? Samel says, in my experience, here's a respect hierarchy. Master Gunnery Sergeant, Sergeant Major, Chief Master Sergeant, Master Chief Petty Officer.
Master Chief Petty Officer last?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm curious. Why do you think Master Chief Petty Officer last? There's something about Master Chief, you know?
The Navy Chief Mess is something to be marveled at, I would say.
Yeah. They get it right. Freddie says, I think the rank position amplifies the person on the inside. If you was a little dirtbag as an airman and you make chief, you gonna be trash. Oh man, I would give you the chime there. Olivia says, yeah, Tony is great. You right. I'm not even SFS. That, I tell people all the time, what's up, Dale in the building? I tell people all the time, man, like when I talk to chiefs or not just all folks that aspire to be, hold on, I'm sorry. Charles Davis, put that back up there again. Sorry. And I'll get back to that. DC, what about the chiefs who shit on CMAS sergeants even when they are SCLs as well? I agree. I'm going to get to that in a second. Real quick, I tell this people story all the time about credibility.
Oh, sorry. I thought Dale was saying he's trying to connect. Sorry. All right, go ahead.
I tell people all the time about credibility, right? You know, when people say, when you're ready for the next rank, right? To me, I know that you are ready to promote when you have credibility, meaning not just in your tribe, but outside your tribe. When you walk around the base and people know you and they're not even in your AFSC squadron, because let's be honest, what does sergeant mean?
Servant.
In Latin, servant, right?
Mhm.
Not just servant of security forces or maintainers or finance troops. It's for everybody. So as a chief or as a senior, you're supposed to mentor everybody. But my favorite is when you, especially when you go on the awards boards, and they be like, oh, this pararescueman saved 3 lives, blah, blah, blah. Even though you know their package is trash, instead of looking at the person who really deserved it. Okay, let me get back to Charles Davis' comments. Yes, Wes is correct. When people know your name, Wes was a good example of JBA2. Everybody freaking knew Wes Lawrence, man. Yeah, man, for good and bad. You know, he had to tell people about my ashy feet. But
is that his character? Story. Is that his charisma, or is that because
Wes has hella charisma? Oh, and you know, the only time Wes did something that was out of character when he was about to fight Clifford Young. That was the only time.
Whoa.
He's about to go hands with Clifford Young.
Yeah. Sure, anyway, but I need you to be good at your job, 100%.
Yes, I agree.
Some people just get politics.
Oh, here's my thing. Well, I'm all over the place.
I need
Let
you
me
to
ask
make
y'all a
leaders.
question. Let me ask y'all a question. Would you hire somebody who's good with people but crappy at the job, or somebody who's phenomenal at the job but terrible with people? Which one would you hire?
I think it depends what I need. If I have a bunch of people that are one way, I need the other way to balance them out, and vice versa. If I have people that are really great at their job but sucks with communicating with each other, I need somebody really good at communication to come in and try to drive that ship, and vice versa on the other way. So I think it just depends what I need, which kind of sucks because if it's not you, if you just got good charisma and they're not looking for good charisma, then you ain't going to get the job. Yep, depends on the position, like Tony Boss said. Good point.
Let me clarify. Let me make it a little difficult for you guys.
Can't have
what if you could only pick one of the two?
Yeah, you can't have both.
Those only 2 choices you got.
All about the organization's needs. Depends on my organization. Why do I have to be
scenario? Man, trying to make a point, Olivia.
Hey, shout out to John Becker. Agree with Pete. First agree with Pete.
So here's the thing. Let me give you my rationale real quick in 30 seconds. If I had to choose between the two, I would pick the person who's good with people. And here's why. If you're good with people, you can build teams and offset your weakness at the job. How many of you guys, we do it all the time, how many of y'all had to PCS to a new position, didn't know ish, but you was a good leader and you got people to kind of help you get you up to speed to learn the job? How many commanders have you worked with that wasn't that great at paperwork, but they were phenomenal with people and their unit thrived? I can name many commanders like, shoot, my commander in DM, he was an A-10 pilot. He wasn't really good at email and taskers, but I tell you what, he was great with people. And the people loved him, man.
So this is interesting because I'm reading these comments and they're coming fast and furious. First of all, really appreciate it. Second of all, everybody's kind of, it almost is 50-50 split. Wes says
I don't agree.
The job.
Which one is, you can teach somebody at the job, but you can't teach people to be good with people. That takes longer. Because one, it could be people. Because one, it could be inside you. If you suck with people, that could be something internal. That's just how you are, right?
Said. Look what Olivia said.
Olivia, you're so wrong. You give people your side by proving your worth. You prove your worth by taking care of people. How many times do we tell people are the most important resource? It doesn't matter. The statistics matter to a certain degree. The production matters. But if you don't take care of the people, your production rates are not going to go up. Your sortie rate is not going to go up. You're not going to be able to stop people at the gate. You got to take care of people. Here's a good example. Who was the coach that was on the Cleveland Cavaliers when they won the championship?
Mike.
Was Tyrone Lue or Mike Brown or something like that?
Well,
My point is the Cavaliers had good players already. They had LeBron James, right?
He's all right.
But would you say if you had a coach that can go in there and dictate everything and not listen to players when they won, I would argue not. But sometimes you need a coach that can go in there that can just facilitate and listen and let the players do their job. That's my argument. People are the most important thing in an organization. You can teach them the job, but you can't. It's hard to teach people how to treat people right because it could be internal.
You are right, but the job is what makes the money. People are important.
You can't
without doing. Let me finish.
No, let me just say this real quick. Let me just say with this. You can't. I get that, but how can you make money when people feel like they're being treated like crap? If you have a leader who knows, this leaders out there all over the place in corporations who are super smart and know the business, but they do not take care of people.
Okay, finish.
I got a couple now. I won't mention it. I got a couple now, but I won't mention
it. I think it's a good argument, and I think you're right. Everybody's like, hey, if I could just have, I want both, right? Oh God, dog. Everybody knows that. Got it. But taking the worst of two evils, then which one would you want? And you said you'd rather have somebody who doesn't know anything about the job, but can move people, motivate people, work with people. And I think that's key in certain jobs. But like Olivia said, she has 10 surgeries today. I need you, like, we're not doing a lot of leadership things. I just need you to be able to hand me the tools or whatever they're doing in the surgery, be good at their job. So I think it does depend on their job. But you're right. Depending on situations, depending on what you need, people are always feeling like they are not getting their just due. That's a good point. I think the how to be a leader amongst people always changes. It gets more difficult. It gets easy. It's an evident flow of being a leader. If that's the case, group chiefs, command chiefs are worthless. Hello?
I don't take offense to that. It don't matter to me. It don't apply to me, you know. I mean, you look at like somebody asked a question in Airman NCO page. They said, if Chiefs don't make decisions, what good are they? What are they doing?
That's a good point. That's a great fucking point.
How's that a great? You're the same mistake. You don't make no damn decisions either. What are you talking? What are you talking about? What decisions you make?
I don't.
So that's my point. But that's my point. The commander makes the decision.
Okay.
The chief or first sergeant provides commentary or sage advice. Bang! If you have the mentality that what good are chiefs or first sergeants or senior NCOs we know make the decision, then why are we here for? Just knuckle draggers? Just to do work?
Yeah.
I would argue not. I would argue not.
So Wes says, what is most important, the job or motivating the people? I think it depends, but in most structures, give me the leader. And I guess Freddie, when you talk about the leader, you're talking about the people who could lead people. I guess that's what you're talking about.
I think I'll put it like this. The only time it doesn't matter, unless it's a job that requires just one person. That's the only time taking care of people don't matter. But even if it's a two-man team, Joe, what's up, man? Man, chilling in Thailand, bro. You need to, hook us up with a beat for our intro, man. Come on, pro bono.
Chiefs are advisors to the people who make decisions. They are guide decisions. Chiefs are not in charge of making decisions. They are in charge of giving advice. Wait.
So Joe is a good example. I'm gonna put him on front too. Joe is a good example. When I went to Kadena,
Tony, if you want to come on, let me know. Chief, I'll send you the link.
People, Colonel Babbitt, who is now 06 Colonel Babbitt, she very much valued the opinion of Joe as the first sergeant over there and Chief Alger, Jamie, when they was there. And she rarely moved they were really tight as a triad, really tight. So it just depends on it. A good commander knows it's always good to know that you are not the smartest person in the room. And you should always have people in the room that can check you and give you an opposing view. Ultimately, is your decision.
Hold on. Tony and Olivia, I'll send you the link if you want to get on. And you can get on. Hopefully it works for you. I'm going to have to do some work on my end. Philly, it's all on you while I do this.
Anyway, let's see. Rick Matthias says, how can you take care of people if you don't understand the job? Because you don't need to understand the job to give a shit about people.
Whoa.
It don't. I mean, it's just common sense. Like if I walk into, put it this way, right? They said the Air Force looks at it, which I rarely see happen. I've seen a couple of happen. Like Andy Gilbert was a good example. You are a chief, an engineer chief, but there's a squadron that need a chief that's not engineers, they're cops. What would do your comment, who was it, Matthias' comment, you would say if a cop unit needs a chief, it has to be a cop. But the Air Force looks at it as, if you're a chief is a chief. You should be able to lead any organization. Hence the reason why they sent Andy Gilbert over there, who's not a cop. But guess what? Andy Gilbert was friggin' phenomenal. They loved him over there. They gave him a friggin' beret.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And he don't know a goddamn thing about being a cop.
Freddie, I'll send
you know
you
what I'm saying? You know why? Because Andy could take care of people. They was feeling them, and they performed well for it. That's why I said you have to have people that knows how to take care of people. Job second. Because if you take care of the people performance will go up. And then as their performance go up, they will help get you to where you need to be to understand the job. But if you know the job, but you can't take care of people, they're going to fail you.
So Andy's too short to wear the beret.
True.
Let me see what Thomas White said. First,
they used to call, hey, Wes, in Philly, they used to call people like Andy Tuffy because, he was short and muscular.
You see what Thomas White says?
Thomas White said, first sergeants go into many units to which they rarely... Exactly. But see, here's the difference.
Whoa.
And I'm glad here's the difference.
Can you read Joe's comment?
I'm glad...
Go ahead.
Can I finish my thought?
Please.
I'm getting to it.
Please.
Here's the difference. First sergeants now are looked at just taking care of people, nothing operational. So a good first sergeant has to be able to take care of people. But the challenge or the difference between a first sergeant and a chief is a chief to some degree has to be able to get involved operationally. Not initially if they're not part of the AFSC. They still have to know some operational. What's first sergeants right now don't, but I'm glad Air Force is trying to change that. Now, if you can put Joe's comment back up there.
All right, give me a second. Tony, Olivia, and Freddie, I sent y'all all the link if y'all want to get on. There you go.
Joe says, those are big facts. Groupthink is a dangerous thing. A commander who welcomes alternative ideas from people with different backgrounds and experiences are typically in a position to make better informed decisions.
True.
I agree.
Becker said they had a...
John says, I've had a chief from a different AFSC come lead our flight out of Nellis. If you know how to lead... That's what I've been saying. Thank you, John. That's what I've been saying. And Andy ain't got no muscles, according to Wes Lawrence. He just compact. That's true. Is it true that if you're short, it's easier for you to get muscles?
I would think so. That would make sense. Somebody said something about the first sergeant. I'm trying to wait for it to come up. I think John said something about the first sergeant. They're not coming in. I sent y'all the link. So hopefully the first sergeant leader has been pushing getting operationally relevant for years now.
It's about time.
Oh, shoot, I feel like I'm operational. God, dog, I shouldn't be, but I feel like I am.
You ain't operational unless you know how to work operations in a DFAT.
I do. I was out there.
You know how to flip a burger and stuff.
Of course.
I'm sorry, services folks.
I was down there making ID cards with my CS people.
Man, I've made ID cards. Jeez.
Well, you just said that's part of the operation. What you mean?
I'm talking about knowing how the whole process works, the forms you got to use.
Yeah.
I mean, to a certain degree.
To a certain degree. It didn't work. It's all good. God dang it. Oh, I'll try to send you one more because I need to get this to work. So you're just gonna have to appease me if you can.
Let's see. Wes says, what should the first sergeants really be used as? I like it. I would liken them to trying to get them close to how the Army has their first sergeants. I think first sergeants, in my humble opinion, should be an actual rank. Okay. And I'm almost a fan of first sergeants being promoted within your AFSC. Matter of fact, when I was at Luke, I think the security forces unit over there was doing a pilot. I think Schaefer, who's a command chief out there, allowed the cop commander to make his first sergeant a cop. I'm sorry. His cop a first sergeant. He was an actual diamond wearer out of his unit.
Yeah,
I'm sure some people wouldn't like that because they would think
involved.
There's how would I put it? Conflict of interest or whatever. I would ask. Yo,
man, respect my burger. Respect my burger, bro. How you mess up a burger? DC, could you touch a question from a bit earlier ago? Which question is that?
Which one? Yeah, Charles Davis, please forgive me. Remind me about that.
Davis, let me see. They are doing a pilot out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, my shirt be chilling at the drill pad and the
See, that's what's up.
I really appreciate
that's what's up, man.
Let me see this question
that's what's
Charles
up.
Davis had. I don't see it, Charles. Let me see. I'm looking.
You know what? Shout out to the first sergeants who really don't just go to the unit and take care of people. They embed themselves in the culture. Joe and Luz, man, I remember when they were transitioning and Luz was brand new to the unit and they both got tased. I tell you, that day when they did that, I was like, man, the unit love her, man. She won them over that one day.
That. I'm not.
I said they're gonna love her.
Fuck that.
Chief should be out the office more. I agree. You know what? I will tell you, I am guilty of that in this job. In my job,
Charles, I don't see it.
If I would have criticized, give myself one piece of criticism in this position, I did not get out the office enough. I was so much on the road. And I know my formation has a lot of more senior individuals in it, but it's nothing like going down the hallway, chopping it up with somebody and everything. I do miss that. Charles Davis says the Chiefs who shit on. Okay. See.
He said shirt was ATC shirt of the year.
So Charles, help me make sure I'm going down the right path of what you're asking. So first of all, an SEL is an SEL, regardless if they're a chief or not. I always find it funny when folks say they're having a chief meeting and it's like SELs, but they're not chiefs, but they don't invite them because they're not chiefs. And SEL is an SEL. In my formation, if you're an SEL, whether you're a mass sergeant, chief, or senior, you come into the meeting. And in the end, they all senior enlisted leaders. Now, chiefs who assume because they're senior mass sergeants and SELs, they don't get the same type of treatment or the same type of buzz. Nah, that's foul. That's the whole point of why they create the SEL position, right? Charles Davis, let me know if I'm hitting your question correctly or not, if you want me to expand a little bit more on that. Freddie says, I don't need my chief in my chili. I agree.
Move out the way.
To me, a chief is more of a facilitator, and they get involved when they have to. A chief should be a beacon of hope. Like they go around, they tell people like, yo, the commander made this decision. We're going to rock with it, but I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to make sure you get taken care of. Olivia says, but honestly, there are flight chiefs that chiefs or flight. So I agree. I agree 100%, Olivia. I agree. We've got to get out this idea that chiefs are the only senior enlisted leaders in the unit. They're not. You've got detachments where the senior ranking is a tech sergeant. I tell my chiefs all the time, for you detachments that have tech sergeants and mass sergeants, chiefs should be training other ranks that are not chiefs on how to be a senior enlisted leader. Being a senior enlisted leader doesn't mean you get to put in for all the awards. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a senior enlisted leader If you're a senior master sergeant, you got 5 other senior master sergeants working with you, and 3 other master sergeants. No one understands when you put in for an award, you competing against them. That's not how it's supposed to be. Let's see. Freddie says, at my deployed wing, we had one SEL meeting, then a chief meeting the other week. Yeah. We got to get out that thing. You know, when they have meetings for commanders, squadron commanders, you know how some squadrons have lieutenant colonels and majors that are commanders? And in some cases, they have like captains, like in smaller units. They don't say, oh, it's just lieutenant colonels. That's it. Freddie Kincaid says, but I was still an SEL for my squadron, though. Yep. Wes Lawrence says, being a chief is a garnish to the meal. An SEL is an SEL. The position is the position. I agree. I just hope that you guys, when you meet young folks or senior folks that decide they want to cross over to the dark side, so to speak, and become officers, please check them if they're saying they're only doing it because they want to be a better leader. Please. Because we need to get, if our young enlisted folks think the only way they can lead is to be an officer, we fail. We've failed. Charles Davis says, yes, DC, exactly. I deal with that where there are SEL meetings, but it's chiefs only. But the topics affect my unit and have no seat at the table. Freddie, when I was, every place I've been at, even when I was a group chief, we had, in my last 2 command chief gigs, usually the wing staff agency SEL is a senior master sergeant. And we would bring her in to all the chief meetings. A good example is Shannon Catris. Shannon Catris in Davis Mountain. She was the SEL at the wing staff. And man, she had to go every week. She had to go toe to toe with these other group chiefs from maintenance, medical mission support group. And she held her own. But I'll tell you, when she made chief, she was more than ready. And they treated her like she was one of their own, even though she was a senior. Tony Bossett says, if they're weak, I'm running circles around them clowns. My people are going to eat big. Yes, please, I'll go back to that because that's near and dear to my heart. Please tell our young troops they don't have to commission to be a leader. If they want a commission because it's more better pay, more opportunities, if it's their dream, please just stick to that. But don't write in the paper that you have dreams of being a better leader. Because to me, I feel like it's a slap in the face to us. That's what I feel. Wes says, yes, 100. Being an officer does not mean you know how to lead. Agreed. Tony Bosick says, the only meeting I wasn't at as in CMSR SEL was when it was about Chief Master Sergeant promotion. I agree. Great point, Tony. If you're not, you cannot be there. If, like I told my Senior Master Sergeants now, that's a detachment SEL, they cannot be in the conversation if we're talking about stratifications for seniors. They can't be in that because we're considering them for stratification. But outside of that, they can be in every meeting because they're an SEL. There was one more other thing that popped in my head. I'm trying to remember. It was something else.
Are you cooking right now?
Fudge, I can't remember, man.
I'm trying to get Olivia on here. I think I figured out what the problem is, but
okay, just stop me when you're ready. It'll come to me in a second. But I feel like, don't get me wrong. You know, when you meet civilians, you know, those 1 or 2 civilians that say, why do you get to get all the benefits? How come you get tuition assistance? How come you get 10% off at these restaurants? Well, newsflash, you could have joined the military too. So I would assume officers probably would think the same thing. Newsflash, you could have commissioned too. And that's 100% right. My only issue is I would argue, you know, the enlisted force is larger than the officer population, is it not? And I would argue that this we don't get paid a lot. And we've been talking about that for many shows. Enlisted does not get paid a lot, especially your senior enlisted leaders, in my opinion. Because I think Olivia said it earlier, you got senior NCOs that are charged to mentor CGOs. And in some cases, I've seen where the only way CGOs survive was because of a good senior NCO. And in fact, I've met GOs to this day owe their career to a good senior NCO. But I think in some cases we don't get the respect and fanfare that we deserve. We just don't. They see us as worker bees in some cases. Not all. Like case in point, first sergeants. When shit goes wrong in the wing, what do they do? We need to rally the first sergeants.
Mm-hmm.
Why not rally the senior NCOs?
It's not a thing.
It should be.
It should.
Charles Davis says, Tony Bostic, what I'm going to do now is show up 15 minutes before the SEL chief meeting. Besides CMS Sergeant Strat, I doubt they would kick me out. I appreciate it. I agree. Tony Bostic says that ETAPS hit a nerve. It did. Didn't it?
Yeah. Tell him,
Didn't
Tony.
it? Like, bro, like Tony, riddle me this, Tony. Don't get me wrong. There were some 06s, maybe a couple of GOs. They got so many dang, I had to say more money, more problems. They have a lot of responsibilities. So they may not be really well off. But bruh, can you imagine a retired? Because think about it. Y'all tell me if this is jiving with y'all or not. Here's what my mind thinks about the rank structure between enlisted and officer. Your lieutenants are equivalent to E1 through E4 in the officer rank. Your captain and your majors are like E5s, E6s. Your lieutenant colonels are like senior master sergeants. Your 06s and above are chiefs. But think about it. A 20-year lieutenant colonel makes more retirement than a 30-year chief.
Yep.
Think about that.
Yep.
Let's see. Wes Lawrence says they don't respect us, huh? What you mean? You disagree, Wes? I'll put it like this: not all. There are a lot of commanders out there that value what senior enlisted folks, chiefs bring to the table. They do, and they respect chiefs a lot. I'm just saying, not enough. Not enough. And I don't know about you, it doesn't translate to the paycheck, in my opinion. In fact, I think your MAGCOM chiefs should be making more than me. If you got a MAGCOM chief at 28 years and I'm at 32, I make more than them. But they're at a higher level. You should be getting paid for that. Tony, Freddie K said, absurd. Tony Bossi says the respect level is different in the MSG for chiefs and ops. It seems like it don't. Oh, I wish my voicemail was working. You hit a nerve, Tony. You right. Bruh, I hope there's somebody in the comments that are like serving in the ops community because Tony hit it on the nail. MSG chiefs walk a lot different. MSG and maintenance chiefs walk a lot different than ops chiefs. Because in most cases, like your operations group chief have maybe 2, 3 chiefs. MSG chiefs have, like what? Double digit. And let's not even talk about maintainers. My maintainer chief, Raul Torres, had like 15 chiefs. And he was the youngest out of all of them in the group chief. Go figure. While we on this topic, let me ask y'all a question. For y'all chiefs out there, what do y'all think about the MFM position? I'm curious. And to clarify, MAGCOM functional manager. Do y'all think MFMs are a position that you just go in and you retire? Or do you think it's a strategic position that should be high on the vector list next to a career field manager? What do y'all think? Tony Boss says you have to be a dog. There's not been a room that I was in that my commander didn't say, what do you think, Chief? No, you know why? 1, you got a good leader. 2, they respect you. Boom. My boss says that a lot too. Sometimes I had to remind myself or tell my boss that I'm a firm believer I'll weigh in when it's important. I refuse to be that guy. Every meeting I have something. If I don't have nothing, I don't. But when I do, people are going to listen because he's got something to say.
Mm-hmm.
You got some Chiefs out there, they just talk about everything and they go on and on. Let me unpack that. Let me pull this string. Let me unpack it. Let me pull this string. Let me go down this rabbit hole. And you look around the room and they be like, oh, God. Oh, God. I don't want to be that guy. Let's see. Thomas Wright. Raul's that dude. Raul is good, man. But only thing is, hey, Thomas White, Raul and his brother, Ricardo, man, you know what they remind me of? They remind me of somebody that, like, by day, they're a respected civilian, but at night, they're like some drug lords beating up people in the alleyway because they're just too nice. They're just too nice. Freddie says, I think it depends. In my career field, the CEM, MFMs make stuff happen. Okay. But I'll tell you, in some career fields, it's been hard to fill MFM positions, man. It's been difficult. Like that. Like I was talking to Joe Barton in Security Forces earlier today. He was telling me MFMs today only got like 1 year experience as a chief. Is it me, or do you think I would think your MFMs would be one of your most seasoned chiefs? But we try to hire 2 MFM chiefs and they retired. They hit the button.
Neither confirm nor
Tony
deny.
Bosley says ATC Chiefs. Wes says some chiefs just need to have their voice heard. I agree. Thomas White says I can neither confirm nor deny that what you said is true. Yo, but seriously, what do y'all think? All right, y'all chiefs out there, or just anybody. Here's my thing. Do you feel a certain kind of way if a position comes up that's critical and someone says, like a chief says they don't want it and they retire? What do y'all feel about that? But before you answer, let's assume there's no family issues.
Don't matter.
There's no personal issues. They just don't want to go to that location or they don't like that job.
Let them retire. Let them retire. Bye.
Gina says, Gina, what's up? Philly in the building. Times 2. Definitely needs to be a high vector position. They should have wealth of career field knowledge. I agree. I think your MFMs are right next to your CFMs. Your FAMs, MFMs, and CFMs.
Dontrell.
But some chiefs don't want to do the job. Dontrell Ford says, I'd make it so you must be a deputy MFM prior to being an MFM. How about this? What do you think about the chiefs who bypass MFM, but they want to be command chiefs? What do you think about that?
Ain't you do that?
Let me say this by let me I'll pause and wait.
Didn't you do that?
Are you asking me, have I ever been given a job to be MFM?
No. Did you ever hold the position?
That's the point. Okay. You didn't let me finish. Sorry. If someone said, DC, I want you to be an MFM, and I said, nah, no, thank you. Oh, Command Chief, I'll take it.
Did you do that?
When I was at Kadena, let me tell you a story real quick. When I was at Kadena, my second gig as a chief, largest security forces unit in the Air Force, right? And PACAF, right? No, was it Air Force? Maybe second, third, or something like that. Anyway, I wanted to be a group chief. It was my second year as a cop chief.
I'm sorry, Freddie. I'm trying something.
Tammy Hart's, right? Oh, Tammy Hart's. I wish my voice tomorrow was working. Ugh. Anyway, I said, hey, I was hoping you look at my records. You elected me as group chief. She's like, well, I would, but we need your talents right there at Kadena. I said, okay, cool. Then the next day she said, hey, DC, we can sure use you at Korea. Then you just said you need my talents here. I just got here. So I said, no, thank you, Chief. I would rather stay here and finish out my time. Cool. Then the next year when it's time for me to get vectored, I said, hey, it's my last year. I'm thinking about trying something new, maybe going to the group. She said, well, we still need your talents at Kadena, DC. Okay. Then 2 days later, hey, DC, we can sure use you at Minot Air Force Base.
Of course.
I tell you, if I was talking to Samel, it wasn't for Samel, man, I would have never gotten an opportunity to get vectored. Because here's my thing. When you get vectored, that doesn't mean you going to the group.
Right.
That just means that opens you up for the ability to go. Olivia in the building. What's up, Olivia?
Olivia's been in the. Oh, she's in. She's in. Holy
She is
moly!
in.
Okay, cool. Let me change this. Dang, this was all my fault. I feel like such a dirtbag sometimes.
It's Pete's fault. It's Pete's fault. Yeah.
Hold on.
No,
Whoa.
it's mine. Here, let me.
Thank you.
Clearly,
Let me put you down here.
let me put on a backlight.
Okay, because good. I gotta move this. Move Philly there. Man, this was complicated.
No. Okay.
Olivia in the
Sorry.
building.
I mean, if you look
Olivia
at
in
me,
the
clearly
building.
I wasn't about to be looked at tonight, but it's fine.
Everybody type Olivia in the comments.
No, it's fine. We don't need to do any of that.
Said no. welcome, man.
Okay.
Hold on, I gotta Philly.
So let me tell you, if you want to add, you cannot add from your phone. You can add from the internet or like an actual computer,
Like
which
an old
nobody
school-
uses.
like an old school
West
computer.
Lawrence VA rating just
Yeah, no,
went
that's
10%.
okay. I mean, normal people that aren't in school do not have computers, but that's fine.
That is a thing. That is a thing. How are you?
Super.
What do you think about these topics so far?
I think you've read a lot of how I feel. However,
You basically don't agree with Philly, is what I'm getting.
no, I think that there is a lot of what either of you are saying. However, I think that there's also maybe a population of people that feel differently.
Okay.
Which topic are we talking about? We talking about this between being a good with people or good at the job, that one?
No,
Yes.
I think that honestly, you can be good with people and you can be good at your job. But I also think that if you're not going to be good at your job, you're going to lose credibility with people, right? So I think that there is a certain, it's hard and it's tough, right? Like I think that depending on where you are and depending on what level of leadership you're at, I think that there can be a different level of leadership that goes into it, right?
Keep
Like,
going. Yeah.
no, sorry. I'm like, I don't know what I lost in the last maybe like 20 minutes.
I'm sorry.
No, like I don't know what we lost in the last maybe 20 minutes while I was trying to get online, but I can speak specifically for my job, but I can also speak, right? So I'm a dental assistant by trade. I have experience as an enlisted aide, and I also have experience working for a command chief, right? So I think that success can look the same depending on what you are doing, right? But I also think that leadership can look different depending on what you are doing. So it depends on whether you're leading a team of 40 or whether you're leading a team of 2, right? So I mean, like, whatever, my personal Olivia experience or my personal belief is it depends on what you are doing. And I don't think that that's something that we're disagreeing on this page. I think that we're looking at a lot of different echelons. But I also think that maybe that's not something that we learn about anymore because we don't have to do a lot of learning. It's whatever. Experience wise, Air Force wise, Olivia opinion. That's how I feel.
Do you think that we don't focus enough on that so people don't really do it? We don't focus enough on enlisted leadership as far as leading people. We just really say win quarterly awards, win yearly awards, basically take care of yourself and you'll get promoted.
No, honestly, like, again, my Olivia experience, and Tony's right, like, medical is way different, and I get that. But also, like, my big brother, he's a cop. Like, for the last 20 years, 17 years, like, I've worked with Mike Watlington, and I understand that it's different. I also, grew up I have 17 years of experience. 13 years of it was mill to mill. Mm-hmm. What I can say is I get that medical is different. I get that comm is different. I get that, security forces is different. But at the end of the day, what I can say is based on the positions that I've been in is I feel like leadership looks the same. right? Like there is a lot of things about leadership that has very similar points, right? And also, even working with John Becker, like there's no way compared to this man. Like I feel like I'm very good at my job. However, when I worked with him, I was good at my job, but there were a lot of things about leadership that I learned from him, right? So he was medical, but he was mental health going to be a first sergeant. Like there were a lot of things about him that were just like transcendent that helped me learn, right? Or even Freddie, like as I look here, Freddie Kincaid Jr. I worked with his wife. His wife was amazing, right? So I had to learn Freddie. I had to, like learn about him. He was prior security forces and then he came in and he is not security forces now. But I mean, this man is incredible. His wife is incredible. Like whether we are looking at him as a tech sergeant, as a master sergeant, whether we are looking at Troy, his wife, right? Like as a civilian, both of them are high achieving people. And I feel like depending on where you fall in this pendulum or whatever, like it just, I would hope, right? Like, again, I'm medical, so it's different, but people are different. And I would hope that based on what we know about people or where we learn people are or where we learn we are, again, like whatever, it's just my personal belief. It's my bias. I think that, I get excited about this stuff. I get nerdy about this stuff. I hope that we are able to show, regardless of what our rank is, regardless of what our position is, right? But we have experience. And I think experience goes maybe further than any of that other stuff does. And I will tell you, for me, like as a dental assistant, if you're going to try to come at me as an E9, but you have no experience, I'm like, don't care. But if you're going to try to come at me as an E9 and you're still relevant, I'm like, got it. Love that. How can I help you? Right? Like, I don't know. For me, it's just different. Okay, I'm done talking. You guys can go.
You good, Chief? Go ahead. I appreciate it. First and foremost, appreciate you coming on here. Appreciate your comments always.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Thank y'all for joining, man. I'm picking up what you put down. The only thing I would add, I guess the caveat is, from my perspective, when you say if an E9 comes to you and they don't know your job, you're like, but if they know your job.
But here's the difference, right? Like you're going to be an E9 and you're going to be security forces, but you're going to be an MSG, right? So I can understand what you're saying, but I feel like for, like we all have our job, whatever, or like our own proficiencies. And I'm like, I'm going to get real protective of my dental people, right?
Is it always like that in the dental world?
So here's the thing about dental, right? Like dental, you can be a dental assistant, but I can move you within 3 flights in the same day.
What does a different flight look like?
A different flight can be like, I have you working at the front desk. I have you taking x-rays. I have you working in residency, or I have you doing a surgery. You know what I mean? And none of them are shreds. None of them are specialties, right? So for me, right, like I have to pump the brakes and I have to think about other career fields and I have to think about how they're structured. But like my initial go-to is, how am I going to protect these people? Like, no. If you don't understand how we work, I'm not about to let you come at these people.
I'm going to let Philly go. I'll say my own bias about dental. Every time I go in there, you always hurt me. So I don't know.
Then maybe you should floss more, but it's okay, right? Like, you have a great smile. It's okay. But maybe you should floss more.
I can floss 17 times a day, and that's what I always hear. My gums be
then maybe you're not
everything.
flossing appropriately. Like, well, it's fine.
I do use the picks. I know you always say don't use the picks, but
you know what? I mean, that's better than nothing. Like if you're going to use the picks. No, like seriously, like using the pick is better than using nothing. It's like if you're going to jog once a week, like obviously running 3 to 4 times a week is better, but whatever.
I got you.
But anyway, yes, we will continue on. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not about here to make it all about dental. I feel like I can relate.
No. I think you have a good point. I think it does depend on the profession, though. I think your profession speaks volumes to where you're looking at expertise as far as in the technical experts, whereas sometimes in
but as well as being a leader.